Hello, and welcome to a short orientation to PCG SmartFactory, a built for NetSuite hybrid suite app. Today, we're going to take a look at the Electronic Batch Record or EBR add-on. Like anything else in SmartFactory, it all begins in NetSuite. Today, we're going to execute work order 862, which has a requirement of 400 pounds of a blended soap item. A little more about this assembly. It's composed of 4 lot-controlled inventory items and is produced across 2 operation steps. We're going to focus on Operation 10 blending at the New Jersey Blender Work Center. So how does SmartFactory extend NetSuite manufacturing capability to account for batch operations and ultimately generate an electronic batch record? It starts with the NetSuite Work Center. You'll see that SmartFactory adds 2 parameters, batch size and batch increment. In this particular case, we always run our blender at full capacity, 200-pound load every time we cycle the blender. So as we go out to SmartFactory, let's look to see how this batching operation unfolds. I'm going to log into my shop floor batch or EBR app. I see work order 862. And as I start the run, you'll notice a couple things. SmartFactory has immediately recognized that my batch target size is 200 based on that work center configuration. My work order quantity of 400 pounds drives that I have 2 batches to do, and I just am about to start my first batch. So let's select our shift, start the run, and begin to execute the work order. The production overview screen is relatively blank when we first get started, and as you've seen in the shop floor video, it populates as we execute the work order. The EBR app begins to distinguish itself from SmartFactory shop floor at the issue materials step. You'll notice that my bill of material is presented to me as you become accustomed. However, as I start simulating the mixer or the blender's tasks, and I identify the first item that I'm entering into the mix, you'll notice that the work order quantity has now been reduced to the batch quantity, recognizing I've got to do 2 batches. For this particular item, I scan my lot number, and I'm going to issue 205 pounds. I'll repeat this process for the remaining 3 items, and you'll notice for every item that we're entering, SmartFactory provides me with a batch target and what the unit of measure is for that item. As I work my way through the materials, I'm entering my actual quantities, which just based on the instrumentation might be slightly more or less than the required amount, but I'm recording my actuals. It's possible, depending on the equipment composition, I could be getting these directly from OPC tags on the machine itself, but today I'm simulating and I'm an operator evaluating a readout and making the entry. As I enter the final item, I've been purposely rounding up so you see how SmartFactory accounts for those actual values. As you've seen with SmartFactory shop floor, I have the opportunities to enter downtime, scrap, labor, and production. Today, we're going to focus on simply production, and then the second component of the EBR, and that is our batch parameters. Now, where did these come from? Let's go back to NetSuite and see how SmartFactory can extend how you evaluate a batching operation. When I go back to this lot numbered assembly that we're producing, we've configured a SmartFactory tab that shows the various parameters that need to be complied in order to maintain a good process when mixing this item. You'll see that there's a variety of parameters: blending speed, vessel temp, humidity, target water temperature, and so forth, in which we have upper and lower control limits we need to follow in order to make the product correctly. When I come back over to SmartFactory and I go to the batch parameters page, all of those are presented to me, and I have the opportunity, whether I do it manually, which I'll simulate today, or directly from instruments or the machines itself that can provide me this information, I am recording how well I am controlling the specific process, and ultimately provide data that helps me correlate process control to not only my production results, but product compliance. As I'm completing my batch parameters for each individual batch, SmartFactory is going to ask me to sign that the information that I've captured is accurate. I'm going to put in my badge number, leave out a comment for simplicity today, and you'll see that I've signed off on, I've followed all of the SOPs in creating this first batch. We'll go ahead and save that info. We've already recorded the 200 pounds. Let's end this particular product run, because for the batching operation, one product run is a batch. You'll notice that as I end the run, SmartFactory is distinguishing all of the materials that I have issued to this specific batch by the lot number that by our convention that we've given it. If I wanted to review this in more detail, I could look at anything else that I may have recorded, but you see the lot numbers, the quantities issued, and I'm going to go ahead and end this particular batch, send the information over to NetSuite. As I complete that first batch, naturally as an operator, I'm going to drive on and complete the second batch that I'm required for this operation. So if I select work order 862 a second time, what you'll notice is SmartFactory now recognizes this is my second batch. I've completed one batch. I have one remaining. I can go ahead and start that second batch. Now, in the interest of keeping this video to a few minutes, we're going to go back over to NetSuite now and see what happened inside of NetSuite as a result of completing one batch. As I go over to my work order and refresh the screen, NetSuite is going to reflect that my used in build is now those items that you saw me issue. And my operations reflect that I made the first batch of 200 pounds against the 400 required. My related records show those material issues, and for lot traceability, every item reflects the lot number that I issued and my staging bin that I took it from in order to maintain accurate real-time inventory. So I'm able to complete the second batch in the manner you just saw me execute, but we're going to go back over to SmartFactory to show one other aspect of SmartFactory extending native NetSuite to provide the ability to look at the detail of a batch from the operational perspective in terms of how well did I control my parameters. So whereas we entered all of our parameters that we must maintain process control, I have the ability to go audit any one of those batches for the work order and the batch that I am explicitly looking at, to include the specific components and how much I put in on a per batch basis. NetSuite Lock Trace operates at the work order level, but you can see with SmartFactory, I can drill down one layer deeper to look at the per batch requirements. And as I pick one or two of these other batches for another work order, you could see it was the same item. I can start to distinguish trends or patterns in how the equipment was controlled, the amount of materials that were entered, and I've really increased my opportunities to drive true continuous improvement or satisfy all the requirements of whatever regulatory agency I was responsible for. We hope that this orientation to the SmartFactory electronic batch record gives you better insight on how SmartFactory extends native NetSuite, particularly when you're operating in a regulatory environment where compliance at the batch level is critical. To learn more, please schedule a demo for your team, or possibly review PCGservices.com or look up our SmartFactory website at smartfactory.com to learn more. We hope to talk to you soon and enable your company to really extend the power of your NetSuite platform through the SmartFactory SuiteApp. Thank you.